The Mt Seymour Peak Trail is an advanced 8.5-kilometer return trail that climbs 500 meters in elevation through the rugged alpine of Mt Seymour Provincial Park in approximately 4 to 5 hours round trip. The best time of year to attempt this hike is from June to October, as snow will be present outside of this period. Snow along this trail adds many additional hazards, including avalanches, icy slopes, unstable cornices, and buried trail markers. Therefore, due to these increased risks, BC Parks does not recommend you hike this trail in the winter or early spring unless you have the necessary skills, equipment, and knowledge to travel through snow and avalanche terrain. Avalanche forecasts can be found at avalanche.ca. As with every hike, make sure you carry the essentials, which includes packing warm and waterproof clothing, a good pair of hiking boots, a headlamp, and extra food and water. If you are attempting this trail in spring and early summer, micro spikes are recommended. Always check the local North Shore weather forecast before heading off. It's important to remember that you will be venturing into the backcountry and up into exposed alpine terrain, where heavy rain, strong winds, snow, and freezing temperatures are common well into the summer. Make sure you leave a detailed trip plan with a trusted contact. For a quick and easy way to file a trip plan, download the AdventureSmart app at any leading app store. Finally, if you get into trouble, make sure to call 911 for rescue. Now, let AdventureSmart guide you through this challenging Vancouver trail. The trailhead for Mt Seymour Peak starts at the northern end of the parking lot for the Mt Seymour Ski Resort. Here, the fairly well-maintained trail takes you along the left-hand side of the resort. Multiple trails branch off to your left and lead to the Dog Mountain Loop, so make sure you stick right and follow the signs indicating Mt Seymour. Approximately a kilometer into your walk, you will reach an important intersection. To the left is the Suicide Bluffs Loop Trail. During the summer, the trail to Mt Seymour Peak goes right and actually heads back into the ski resort for a short section. However, in spring, when the ski area is open, the Mt Seymour Trail carries on straight. This intersection leads to a lot of confusion when snow is present, as trail markers are buried. So take your time, especially on the return, to ensure you're going the right way. Missing your turn at this intersection could lead you down to the Suicide Creek drainage, which is a very steep and unforgiving area where multiple search and rescue incidents occur each year. 100 meters up the ski run, another well-signed intersection takes you back into the forest. The trail cuts around the left of the tarn, but again, make sure you don't venture off trail here, as going too far left will bring you into the Suicide Creek drainage. As you continue to make your way up, you will reach an open, flat section known as Brockton Point. It should be your first decision-making point of the day. Take a moment here to reassess the weather, the current trail conditions, and your group's fitness. With the easy section behind you, you are now approximately 1/3 of the way to the peak. However, the trail becomes more difficult from here, and snow is common in the early summer beyond Brockton Point. If you feel comfortable carrying on and you have the necessary equipment for the conditions ahead, then follow the trail down through the undulating terrain. Again, stick to the trail and don't venture too far left, as this will bring you to the steep Suicide Creek drainage. As you traverse right over some small boulders around the base of Pump Peak, you'll reach an intersection for Mt Seymour and Elsay Lake. People often take a wrong turn here, especially on the descent, and end up lost at Elsay Lake. So make sure you take your time at this intersection to ensure you get it right. Beyond this intersection is a small steep section with a few switchbacks where you will need to use your hands to help yourself over rocks and roots. However, this is short-lived, and the trail quickly opens out onto an open alpine bowl. Snow can be present here well into the summer, so make sure you carry micro spikes in the spring and early summer. Take your time walking over the rocky terrain as you make your way to the summit of Pump Peak, which will offer you amazing views over Vancouver. However, it is another key decision-making point. Take a moment to reassess your group's fitness, the trail conditions, and the weather. If you are unsure about any of these, then this is a good turnaround point. If you feel the conditions are good enough to continue on towards Mt Seymour, descend over the rock slabs before taking an obvious path up a gully to Tim Jones Peak. This gully can be slippery when wet, so you may need to use your hands to scramble over rocks and roots on your way up. Once on Tim Jones Peak, make sure you don't wander too close to the edge, as the east and north sides of this peak are heavily cliffed. From here to Mt Seymour Peak, retrace your steps for a few meters before taking a right-hand turn to head north. There is a short technical section here that will have down climbing and traversing below Tim Jones Peak. Take your time and ensure you have good footing. At the saddle, you will need to climb up over some steep rock slabs, which can be very slippery when wet. Follow the faint trail up the rocks towards Mt Seymour. As you near the summit, remember to stay back from the edge, as the east and north faces of this peak are cliff bands. Now that you're at the summit, sit back and enjoy the views, but keep in mind that this is only the halfway point, and you still need to go back. Allow yourself plenty of time to return, as it always takes surprisingly longer than expected. Remember to take your time at each of the key intersections discussed to ensure you're heading in the right direction. Although Mt Seymour Peak is a popular Vancouver hike, don't underestimate its difficulty. Make sure you take the small but necessary pre-trip planning steps. Get the training and take the essential equipment to successfully and safely complete this hike.